Hello, Shining Light. Today, I want to talk to you today about purpose and what it feels like when you have purpose. Purpose is what you could be doing, what you should be doing. It's that thing you were born into, whether it be a task of your family, maybe it's something that you feel in your spirit, maybe it's just something that you've just always known you're supposed to be. Maybe you have no idea what your purpose is, but no matter what, we're going to talk about purpose today, what it feels like, how your life moves when you have purpose, and then what it feels like when you are not on the right track. Let's jump in. If you are new to the channel, we talk about all things health and wellness, alleviating stress, anxiety, and depression so that we can have the freedom to be our best self and to live our best life. And with that, today I'll be talking about purpose because purpose is a big part of being your true self, your best self, and living your best life. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I was brought into a family, I was born into a family where your worth was dependent upon how long you worked and how hard. So when I became of age, I went out and I got a job, right? I started working at age 14. And I've always worked hard. That was my work ethic. In order to be a contributing member of society, in order to be a good person, to be worth something, especially to my family, you may have heard them old people say, "Oh, he does not want to work. He don't like to work. He don't want to work." So, I don't actually want to work for someone else, but I do want my life to have meaning. But so I went along and I did what I was supposed to. I waited tables, I did catering, I did sales, I did corporate jobs. I've had almost every job you can imagine because I never thought about what it was that I wanted to do. I always ended up unhappy and disgruntled, and I'm like, this is not what I want. So of course I'm going to quit a job. I might work 3 jobs. Some of that was just for survival. But when you aren't doing something that feels good to you, you're always going to be unsettled. You're always going to be unhappy. And that's what many of us are out here doing, right? We're working a job because we have to live and we have to survive. And for those lucky ones, there's so many people who are lucky where they find out early on what it is that they want to do. But for the most part, you get out there and whatever your culture is, your family culture, or our society and modern society now, what your worth is based off of your car, your home, your money, and all of this. But that does not bring true happiness or fulfillment. So I knew when I came to a point in my life that I was absolutely unhappy doing what I was doing, I had to stop what I was doing. And I remembered when I was a child that when I was asked, what is it that you want to do? And I said, I want to be a doctor, a lawyer, and a firefighter. Those 3 things. And I remember my grandmother asking, she was like, well, baby, how are you going to do all of those? And I was like, I don't know. It's just what I want to do. Well, I haven't done any of those things. I've come close with law, but I'm not a firefighter, I'm not an attorney, and I'm definitely not a surgeon. But the theme of what I said when I was young stayed true. And what do you think that theme was? I wanted to do something that helped other people. So when you're thinking about your purpose, if you don't know what your purpose is, just start by writing down things that make you feel good, Now, some people may say, well, a hobby, if it's a hobby, say it's gardening, people have been able to take their hobbies and turned it into a income for themselves, doing something that they love. That may not be for everyone because being an entrepreneur does take some hard work. You're doing this yourself. You don't have the backing of a big company to give you insurance and some of these other things. But first focus on things that bring you happiness. And if you're working a job where, okay, this puts a roof over my head, as long as it's not toxic, the thing that you need to worry about is doing that thing that you love and balancing it with your job, right? So that it's equal. If you're working more and doing less of what you love, you're going to resent and hate your job. If you're doing this thing that you love more than your job, you may not be able to put food on the table. So you have to figure out where that balance is until you can get to a point where that thing or things that you love are able to also provide you income. So, if you have an inkling or an idea of what it is that you love to do, then by all means try to do that as much as possible. And through hard work and faith and diligence, you will eventually be able to make that thing, whatever it is, into something if you love it and if you're passionate enough. Now, personally, I've done many. Now, let me interrupt myself here. I want to go into what happens when you have purpose, okay? How does your life flow when you have purpose? You wake up with this sense of accomplishment. You know what you want to do and how you want to do it. You feel energized by the thing that you want to do. And even if that thing you want to do is later in the day, say you have your job, you have to work your 9 to 5. You work your 9 to 5 and it's just a part of your balance. So that when you say get off work and it's like, okay, I'm getting ready to go to the park and I don't know, feed the pigeons. Maybe you're volunteering, you're helping out kids. You want to be a teacher one day. You want to be a therapist or rehab animals or anything like that. Maybe you homestead or you garden. But it becomes part of your duties. It's that thing that you love to do. And although you have other things that you need to do, your purpose stays true. Say you tend to things, you grow things, you have a green thumb. It's easy to do that, to have a beautiful garden or to even have, write a book or do a YouTube channel based off of these things that you love to do. So you feel this lightness, you feel that everything is working. Your prosperity and your abundance, it's right there. So even though you may not be making a lot of money doing that thing that you love to do, it fuels you. So you're not so caught up and worried about, oh, my finances, and maybe I should make more money, and maybe I should have a bigger house and all of this. Those are the things we don't want to focus on. So purpose gives you this drive. It makes you want to continue to go higher and to see if you can achieve more. And it's just this wonderful sense of knowing who you are and being fulfilled and true to yourself, because you are being true to yourself when you're working your purpose, when you're doing your purpose. Okay, back to my talk. Many different things, okay? Like you've heard me say, I have always been artistic. I have painted, I have danced, I have sang, I have done all types of artistic things, and I love to be artistic. I love to be a creator. But I've reinvented myself more than a few times. It's because usually at about the 10-year mark, I'm like, it's time for me to do something different. There's nothing wrong with that. But our culture wants you, or at least depending on when you were raised, right? Maybe if it was like boomers or before, you you would stay at a company or stay at a job for like 30 years or more, right? And that's what you did until you retired. Well, you don't need to do that anymore. For those of you who are still holding on to that, especially like our boomers or our Gen Xers and some of our millennials, right? You may have grown up where it's like you need a job and it needs to pay and you need to be responsible in all of this. Well, also you have responsibility to your happiness. And that's where you need to think about being very thoughtful and intentional about what you're doing. So again, so we're talking about purpose. So what is it that you like to do? What is it you love to do? Write down these ideas. Make a plan about how you want that thing that you love to either bring it more into your life so that you have balance, or to make it the thing that you want to do. Wherever your energy flows and your intention goes, that's how you bring your dreams and goals into fruition. So it's okay if you work a job for 20 years. If that job takes care of what you need and you can go there every day and still have great benefits and have vacations, it gives you time off, you're not stressed out and you have a peace of mind and it allows you to enjoy life, that's great balance. You don't have to become an entrepreneur. You don't have to struggle. Figure out what works for you and then work the plan. Okay? Now, what happens when we don't have purpose? What happens when we're working a job and that's all we do and it begins to consume us and we hate it? Maybe it's toxic. Maybe we don't have enough time to enjoy our life. We don't have enough vacation time. We don't socialize enough. We don't have time to sit in the sun or go to the park or to say go skiing or some of the things that we really enjoy. Well, you're going to become a bitter, salty, and unhappy person that no one wants to be around. That means you're going to be disgruntled at work. That could make your productivity go down. Your employer is going to turn the eye of Sauron on you. And next thing you know, you might get written up, you might get fired. This day and age is not where we need to be getting fired unless we are ready, right? We need to hold on to our jobs as much as possible right now because it's looking a little crazy out here. So unless you have, another form of income, you probably need to either see about what you can do to hang in there at this job by balancing out something wonderful that you love to do so that you have that balance, or you need to leave that job entirely and start something else. But you become disgruntled when you do not have purpose. You become unhappy. You stop celebrating milestones. Life becomes stagnant and just every single day is like just pulling teeth. It's like carrying around a boulder every single day. You're like, oh gosh. I used to work in a situation where every time the alarm went off in the morning, it was like, I started crying a few times because I just broke out into tears because the idea of facing the day, to have to go into this environment and stay there for 8 or 9 hours and deal with the people that I had to deal with doing something I absolutely loathed. It was too much to bear sometimes. And I got out. I got out because it's not worth it. So again, we're talking about if you are, what are you doing if you do not have purpose, okay? You get into things, drama. You get locked into things that you have no business being locked into. That means getting into people's business. That means being concerned about things you really don't need to be concerned about. That means getting overly concerned and wrapped into social media, gossiping about other people, because if you're miserable, it's nice when you can go gossip about somebody who has it worse than you do, right? That's putting out negative energy. And the only thing that's going to come back on you is more negative energy, okay? So stay in your lane and mind your business. It's being rude or ugly to people. It's doing everything but taking care of yourself because you're trying to deflect away from your own unhappiness. We're talking about binge eating, drinking, partying, anything to take you away from something that you should be doing. Okay. So binge eating, partying, miscellaneous or excessive sex, abusing your body and your mind. So this is some of the stuff that happens when you absolutely do not have purpose. So what if you have no idea what you want to do? And again, that's okay. If you have no idea about what you want to do, then worry about doing things that have actionable results, that have positive results. Okay. That means whenever you feel like getting into something you have no business getting into, go for a walk, go to a park, do something lovely, okay? Listen to a book, go read, just go to a food bank and feed people because there are a lot of people out there hungry right now. If you can, it's just like, see how you can help out your neighbors. You know, if you have some elderly people in your neighborhood, see if they need something. So to stop from concentrating on yourself and oh, my life is this and my life is that, do something about it. You're the only person that can. If you're bored and lonely and you have no purpose, get online and find a social group. There are people out there who are interested in some of the same things that you're interested in. If you like building birdhouses, I mean, pick up a hobby. YouTube, okay, what I'm talking on, YouTube is a perfect resource for finding things to do. So again, if you don't know, then just worry about being a good person. Everybody is not gifted enough to know what their purpose is. And again, for the lucky few of you who do, you just need to worry about remaining balanced, doing things that make you happy versus doing things that bring you money. And if you bring them together, then you have the best of both worlds, and it's absolutely amazing, and you are blessed to have that. And for those of us who are out there, we're working a job to live, but we also want to live. So make time for the things that bring you happiness, and don't put so much emphasis on, oh, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, and shouldn't I be doing stuff? If you've got somebody, I get it, parents or some grandparents or some old people are getting up in your business. What are you going to do with your life? Blah, blah, blah. You sit around playing guitars all day and playing video games. Well, okay, well, you may want to do something if you're not contributing, that you're kind of taking, but just don't be a bad person. Here's the thing, and this is the truth of it. We're alive for this long, okay? This little bit here, that's how long we're on this planet. And half of it, you shouldn't worry about what it is I'm supposed to be doing. If you feel a restlessness in your spirit, then do something for other people. Do something for a good of something. Take care of animals. Do some nonprofits. Just keep yourself active doing things that are positive, and stay away from those things that are going to immerse you in negativity. That's all you need to do. Sometimes your purpose is just feeding positivity and sending positivity out into the world. Sometimes it's just enough. And if you're feeling out of whack, if you're feeling unbalanced, then figure out how to get back in balance. Okay? Eat right. Get out into the sun. See other people and smile. Stay away from negativity. And your purpose will come to you. Okay? It doesn't matter how old you are either. It doesn't matter if you're 40, 50, 60, or even older. You don't know when you'll receive your calling. You don't know when you'll rise to greatness. But right now, just worry about taking care of yourself, being happy, being healthy, being well, and being human. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you have, please hit the like and subscribe, hit the notification bell for other videos that come out. And please share this video so that we can bring other people into this community of like-minded people. Also, announcement, I made 500 followers. Yay! Woo! I have scraped for that 500 so bad, you guys. So now, hopefully by January of 2026, I can get to 1,000. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I need your help. So please share, please like, and thank you so much for those of you who have already subscribed and who have been a great following. And leave a comment. Let me know how you've been doing. I don't post as much as I should. I know I say I'm going to, and I don't, but I'm just busy living life. But let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you're struggling with. Let me know if there's any challenges that you have with purpose. And if you found your purpose, let me know when you found your purpose and how. Did it come to you in a dream? Did you always know? Purpose is something that I have struggled with, and I know other people have struggled with. So if you have any advice, if you have any tips for the old and the young, please leave them in the comments. And I look forward to talking to you next time. Be happy, be well, and be blessed. We'll see you next time.